Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why is I take the most time with my clients. I spend the most time on them than any other coach. And also, there's no such coaching like my coaching. And it's so funny, I'm looking at the clock, and it says 5:44:33. Synchronicity galore. I love it. All the information from me is below. I coach mainly in audio exchange as well as phone sessions. Those are the two main packages for coaching that you can book with me. The first one is basically we exchange audios back and forth. Your audio has to be 20-minute max. I listen to your audio more than once. I transcribe it in my own way. I do a lot of notations. I take a ton of notes after it. And then I reply with my own audio. I record analysis of your audio in response to yours. We go through everything in my coaching, starting with childhood, adolescence, college years, what have you, all the way up until today. Why I do it so thoroughly is because it really does interest me, where you're coming from, what you've done thus far, the kind of belief systems that you've picked up, okay? Really important in the manifestational work, and I will discuss this further. We always start with a phone call. I want to get to know you for an hour before we start a coaching after you book me for a month. Alternatively, tongue twister, you can book me for an hour to make up your mind if you'd like to book me for a month. And then book the month and start coaching with me. The phone session deluxe package for the coaching is more or less the same thing, except we are on the phone 2 to 3 times per week, and that session lasts an hour. I also record that phone session with your permission. It's for my notes. For posterity, I'd like to take as many notes as possible. On the phone, when I'm listening to you, I don't really take that many notes because I want to pay attention to what you're saying to me. And so after we hang up, I transcribe that session. Takes me a lot longer, as you would imagine. And then we reconvene at our next session with the next discussion, the next assignment that I give you. I always give my clients assignments, what to work on next, what to discuss with me next, what to ponder on next, okay? The frequency with which we interact in both scenarios is 2 to 3 times per week. Now, if you take your time responding to me, that's quite frankly on you. I respond to each audio within a day or two, and schedule permitting, we are on the phone 2 to 3 times per week, like I said, in the case of phone session package. There are also phone calls, a phone call package on my website. However, that's for somebody who's been already through my coaching. I need to cover the program with you in my coaching, and I recommend to spend 2 to 3 month minimum with me. I want to be able to know that you are stable in your vibration, that I've covered everything that I need to cover with you. Some people, it takes a little bit longer depending on their history, depending on how much drama and trauma they went through. And so it depends on the person, but on average, it's 2 to 3 months per person, okay? I also do seminars, mostly online. Ideally, it's 10 people. I can either go over the coaching program that I have and how I coach everybody in my coaching, or it can be something that is prepared for that group specifically, which is a custom discussion. And you can send me your preferences beforehand, obviously, and I will prepare that. If you have a group that's less than 10 people, I've gotten those requests as well. We can always discuss. But I find 10 people, it's, I've gotten more requests based on that number or even more than any other number. But if you have less, we can definitely discuss that. If you have any questions about coaching, my email is directly below, or you can just book me, which is preferred that you book ahead. Because I'm constantly getting booked. It's first come, first serve, and I recommend that you take this seriously. It's an investment. Come prepared to work. Be open and receptive to my suggestions. I realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea. However, if you're prepared to make a change in your life and you're prepared to really work on this in earnest, then I welcome you to email me and discuss the topic that you, or the topics, plural, that you really are having trouble with right now. Okay. The subject of today is how to manifest a change in your SP like a magician, okay? And of course, parenthesis here, this goes for everything. This doesn't just go for people. This goes for circumstances. This goes for your money situation. This goes for your work situation, anything at all, okay? It's basically manifesting on purpose and deliberately, all right? So most of the people, the reason I started discussing SP so much is most of the people come to me with SP problems. It usually starts like this. And of course, I realized very soon that that's just the tip of the iceberg. That is not the main problem at all. And the so-called problem is usually hidden within your insecurities, your beliefs, your emotions, the things that you've lived already, okay? And you just copy and pasted this on this person. Somehow you produce this person to be this way towards you. Nothing is a mistake. Please understand that everything you manifest in your life is literally a replica of your consciousness, okay? At the time when you attracted this person, or at the time when you came together, okay, you manifested this version and no other version of this person. And you can say, well, Anna, you don't understand. They've always been like this. They have a history. They've always been a jerk. Okay, well, first of all, what are you doing with this person then, or thinking about this person? It might not be that they've always been this way. It might be that you fell in love with something good that you saw in them. Okay, so the good things that you saw in this person were also manufactured out of your consciousness. I mean, everything right down to eye color, you created this person, okay? So if you want to create a change in this person, let's just say they turn into a jerk and they stopped treating you nicely, they blocked you, they, stopped talking to you, completely disappeared, they went off with somebody else and really hurt you. All of this is, as hurtful as that is, right, is a production of your consciousness. And your job in my coaching in particular is to understand, how did you do that? What came out of you and on the screen of your space, as Neville Goddard says, and produced this result for you. Honestly, if you're going to blame this person and you're going to say they've always been a jerk and they're just like this and and all these things, you're not going to go anywhere. You need to take responsibility for creating this version. Nothing else. Most of the people that come into my coaching are really sweet and lovely and adorable people. Okay, 99.99%. Once in a while, I mean, once or twice, I should say, somebody wandered into my coaching that, didn't belong there. Let's just say that. And they tried to sell me this story that I did not buy into, quite frankly, okay, because my intuition is on point. But most of the people are really lovely, darling people. And so you haven't done anything wrong other than create a version that you didn't prefer. And that comes from your beliefs, the kinds of beliefs that you nurtured around the time when you were manifesting this person, created the outcome. And or when you first got together, everything was hunky-dory, and the change that you saw in this person turning into a jerk was, quite frankly, the change in your consciousness. You were maybe harboring some insecurities deep down and beliefs that didn't serve you, and they got triggered when you first got together with this person, and it just seemed too good to be true. Okay, but I don't know your situation, you know your situation. But most often than not, it's either either the two of the scenarios. So in essence, like when people say to me, why can't I manifest contact? Why can't I manifest a different version? Why can't I change them? Why can't they leave the third party? I always, it's really funny to me because the answer is staring you in the face. You created this person in the first place to be with you the way that they are, their behavior, etc. The answer is that you need to change what you've got going on up here in your mind. Okay? Putting too much attention or paying too much attention to the obstacles, like third parties, like them blocking you, like them being a jerk, like etc., doesn't really help you. All right? You need to start making decisions. Decisions are always very necessary. Everything else is easy, right? So you as a creator of your reality, you need to first understand who you are. Understanding who you are is of paramount importance. Write it down. Number one, understand who I am. What went into the composition of you, my dear listener? The composition of myriads and upon myriads of different experiences that formed your world on the inside. Okay, so getting to know you is of paramount importance. This is what I start with in my coaching. I don't start with how to manifest your SP overnight. No, that is easy as pie if you understand who you are. Really, it is. And some people get upset with me like, you always say it's so easy. Yeah, because it is. If you really do the work with due diligence and come prepared to do it day in and day out, not just in coaching, but afterwards, when you learn the principles and apply them day in and day out, you will get results every single fucking time. But if you don't, then you won't. Number two is work through your beliefs. Okay, work through that structure of your blueprint, okay, I call, that doesn't serve you. Something is off in the engine of your mind. Obviously, nobody else is creating your reality. You cannot blame it on anybody. So there's something there that is not working. If this person is being a jerk to you and blocking you and this, that, and the other, your beliefs and emotions, I would say, okay, beliefs and emotions need to change. They need to change. You're probably upset with this person. Yeah, most probably than not. Okay, you're probably resentful. You're probably worried. You're probably jealous of the third party. You're probably, kind of like planning for the worst case scenario and this, that, and the other. A lot of people come into my coaching and then they tell me these things sometimes in both ways, in both kind of ways of manifestation. Like, I just wished this under my breath. It wasn't such a great thing, but it came true. I'm like, well, there you go. Or I just wished this under my breath and it was a great thing and it came true. Okay, so this is how powerful you are. So it's not a matter of why am I not manifesting? It's what are you manifesting right now? And why? You're always manifesting something. So right now, right here, you're manifesting this person being a jerk to you. So your job is to examine why. And so the emotions and the beliefs circling in your mind right now, and in your aura, may I add, because you attract through the energy that you are, essentially. It's an energy world. It's like I said, an exact replica of what you've got going on. And so to change that, you need to change, number 3, change beliefs and emotions. Listen, guys, listen up. Not a goddamn thing will change. Not the goddamn thing will change if you don't change. Don't wait for your SP to smile at you first. It would make as much sense as if you went up to the mirror and you were frowning and you were expecting the mirror to smile back at you. Your SP is your mirror. So if you're worried, if you're upset, if you're insecure, if you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, if you're yearning, if you chasing and doing all this dumb shit, don't be surprised that the outcome will be shit. Okay? You really need to change your beliefs. Start believing something different. Believe what it is that you want to receive. Feel what you want to receive before you get it. Okay? Everybody can feel what, if I give you $1 million, it will be very easy for you to feel rich. But in order to manifest it, you need to create this feeling now. So if you got your SP to apologize to you, to come back to you, to send you a message, to start texting you nonstop, and all the things that you want right now, what would the feeling be like? You would be a transformed fucking human being right now. Right now you may be miserable, insecure, doubting, wavering, doing all this stuff. Okay, like I said, if I gave you $1 million and just about anything that you desire, your life would change in 1 second. Am I right? Yes, of course I'm right. But the thing is, you need to create that first. And then the mirror, the entire universe will reflect it back to you. Don't wait for the outside to change. You need to change it through your consciousness. It always works. It works without fail. In other words, if your 3D isn't changing, this is why affirmations don't work. For people who haven't done the belief work and the emotional releases behind unpleasant situations. Affirmations only work for people. Yes, I know it's not fair. It actually is totally fair. Affirmations only work for people who already have done the work. And if you're going to jam in 100 million affirmations into your mind, it still doesn't matter. Your creations will be minuscule, if at all, if any. Okay, you might manifest minuscule things compared to what you could, and that comes from a fundamental change in what you think about yourself, what you think about the world, what you think about your relationship with this person. If you're hating on them right now, don't wait for them to come and apologize to you. You need to forgive them first, as hard as that may sound. You need to really start creating a new story, as hard as that may sound, in order for it to change. You're too busy remembering the past. You're very good, kind of like you're recounting the past and telling yourself the same things over and over again, and you wonder why it keeps playing on the outside. Because you're the director of your movie 24/7. The only one who can decide what happens next is you. And so with that, though, you need to change the machinery that's operating right now. Again, beliefs and emotions. Number 4, decide. Decide what change you want to see in this person. So now that you're empowered with self-examination, with understanding how you rule the world and how you control everybody and everything, okay, anybody can change. Listen, guys, anybody can change. Anybody can change. It's if you want them to change. Right? Because, and so parenthesis here, sometimes I mentioned, like, if a person was so abusive to you that you see no way out of imagining anything different other than that, that could be a challenge. And I'm never going to say, well, that's kind of like you failed at manifesting. No, I think everybody should be a human being and validate their feelings. But anybody can change. It's if you want them back or not in your life. That's the deal. And so start deciding what you want to see different in this person. Let's just say this person, was a complete womanizer in the case of a man. Running around with this one and the other one, doing this shit and the other shit, disrespecting you, abandoning you, not really, considering your feelings, not being a good partner. There's some good things about this person. There is that. Or if it's a woman, maybe not being considerate towards what you wanted to do with your life, not being supportive, not showing up for you, kind of neglecting you, this and that. Start deciding what you want. Okay, in the case of a man, no, they turned into somebody. They had lightning strike them in the head, and they started realizing, no, I don't want this lifestyle anymore. I want to come home to somebody who totally gets me, and that person is you. I want to be with this person who I have so much in common with. I have this connection, and I'm going to be completely loyal and faithful, and all this other dumb shit that I did before, I'm embarrassed for, and I'm going to make up for those mistakes for the rest of my life. Okay, same thing with the woman. I want a man of my own. I'm tired of dealing with this one and the other one, or I want to be a good woman. I want to create a home, or I want to recognize this person, you, as the one and only, because suddenly something happens within their consciousness when you start making these decisions, that the thought transmission goes out into the universe and reaches their mind, and you start instructing them literally what they're doing now, just like you've been instructing them to be a jerk and on a continuous loop, like, oh yeah, that's just who they are, don't you know, that's what they're going to do, they're going to ghost me, they're not going to talk to me, this, that, any other. No, you got to change that narrative. You got to change that. Okay, you make the decisions for them. You always have. You just haven't realized it. If you want to be, like I said, if you want to do this like a magician, you have got to change this on the inside of your mind. All of these people, whether that's SP or whoever it is in your reality, they're all just playing out your orders continuously. Okay? I do this every single day. I have fun with this like all the time. Okay, all the time. Somebody tells me something is impossible, or I'm not going to be able to do something, or whatever, and hoopla, all of a sudden, they go talk to somebody on the phone, or they say, I'll call you right back, or let me check something, and don't you know, all of a sudden, it's all in my favor. Okay, it's exactly what I wanted, and I always get what I want. So you see, if you have this belief that you always get what you want, that everything is under your control, okay, it's only when you relinquish control through being upset, through being kind of like annoyed and this and that, then you don't have any control, because you're pretending at that moment, the glorious creator of your life that you are, that someone else has control. That's why you're upset. But if you reverse that and understand once and for all that you have had the control all your life, and it's time that you claim it, then there's nothing to be upset over. The only thing you need to understand, like I said, is the mechanism that's operating inside your consciousness at the moment. And then you can finally create on purpose. The final step is number 5, create. Create whatever the fuck you want to create. And understand when you have changed your SP for the better, however you have changed them, it is permanent. This reality that you are quote unquote fantasizing about in your mind is there always. It's permanent. Okay, there are many versions of your SP. There are many versions of this parallel realities, innumerable ones. Don't you think in one of those realities this person is exactly as you want them to be and is going to behave exactly as you command them to? Yes, the answer is yes. And can I tell you something else? Imagination doesn't really exist. Only reality exists, which means what you're imagining already has existed. It's not that you're so like, kind of like inventive that you invented a new reality. No, that reality has always existed. The only thing that you need to do is acknowledge its reality, the reality of that parallel reality, that it always has existed, and that the only thing that you need to do is select it. Okay, you go to a library of books, you select a book you want to read. You don't just haphazardly pick one. Well, maybe you have in the past, but now you're going to be on purpose. This is the love story between me and my SP, or this is the love story between me and my fortune. This is the love story between me and my career, etc., etc. But if you continue pretending like it's out of your hands, that you're not in control, then of course delays will be there. What can I say? If you want to be unbeatable at manifesting, you need to employ parallel realities. They're already always there. Okay? I'll give you an example. I was passing by in the street today. I was kind of like a little bit away from my neighborhood, and it was one of the houses I lived in a long time ago that got demolished. And it was so strange to look at that. I had some fond memories of it, but it was like over 10 years ago now. And they're putting up a new building in the Senate. And it was so weird. And I thought to myself, well, isn't this how parallel realities work? In another parallel reality, that building is still standing. And I can, I remember what it looked like in the Senate. But in this reality, it's permanently demolished. Just like that, okay? Just like that. The old version of your SP, the jerk, the womanizer, the whatever, somebody who wasn't treating you nice, does not exist anymore. You're the only one who has a memory of what it looked like, of what it felt like. You need to embark on the new reality where that does not exist anymore and never existed in this parallel reality. The only reason that you're not receiving contact from this person, you're not changing them, is because you have resistance towards understanding that you could change this person, you could create a different version of them, you could manifest contact with them in a very short period of time, and the past has nothing to do with what you're creating now. It can't. Because if you're in a new parallel reality, that other reality that you didn't prefer cannot have anything in common with the new thing. And so every moment you're brand new, and so is your SP, and so is every circumstance that you like to change. The only thing that you have to do is decide and create. With laser sharp focus on don't worry about any so-called obstacles, any memories that are contradictory, or anything like that. All you have to do is just decide what it is I want and stick to it like glue. Thank you very much for listening. Happy Thanksgiving for those who celebrated. All the information from me is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.